Hello everyone, welcome back. Good to have you join me, and it's Angela. Well, I hope that you guys are well today. It's time for another little Christmas video, and a really exciting one because we're going to work on the cover, and I've made a tassel and I'm very excited about the tassel. So I'm going to share that with you. If you're wanting to catch up on any of these videos, I do have a Christmas playlist. It's in the tab on my channel next to the video tab. Right next to that you'll see a tab that says playlists, and everything there for each project, including the Christmas project, is there for you to follow along, so you can catch up at any time of the year whenever it suits you. All right, don't forget I've got the sale on in my Etsy store and in my shop. A great sale, fantastic discounts. I've never had a discount this big, so it's on all my digitals. Go and have a look. All right, links are in the description box as always. Right, I'm going to get to what I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, with regards to the signatures, I have now divided mine into two. I've just effectively, it started off like this, and I counted, it was looking very chunky, as you can see. And all I've done is I have taken to, I think it's 9 pages, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, 10 pages, 10, 11. So after this project and the music sheet, that goes in there, I've then removed this bit. So this bit, starting with the snow globe, was in there, and after this point I've just taken that out. All right, so I just didn't want it to become where the pages extend too far, because it is really chunky and I've still got lots to add. So that's going to be the first signature, and then this one with the center spread and everything will be the second signature. I am going to do a project I've got one more Christmas project to share with you, which I will put the video in for this week, and then I will be doing the flip through when we return. All right, so that gives you everything you want to do up until that point, and then it's just adding pockets, adding the little advent things, little tiny page edge decorations, etc. I will be stamping on mine and such, you know, things like that, but I'll share that with you in the new year. Right, so those are the two signatures. I've divided that into two, and it's already looking fab. All right, I'm just going to put those on the ground. Okay, I want to share with you what we're going to do with the journal. All right, so let me grab that quickly and I'll be back here with you. Okay, so for the cover itself, I have made a flexible cover. So I've used manila folders, which I have. And what I've done is, this is just the offcut from the side, or from the top actually. I have made it 9 inches in length, so that's about 23 centimeters there to there. I have made the left sort of cover piece 6.5 inches. That's about 16.5 centimeters. So those two are the same, and then in the middle the actual spine is 2.5 inches, so that's about 6 centimeters there or thereabouts. All right, so that's what I've done there. That was the natural fold of the actual file folder there. I then measured my spine first of all, and once I'd established that and drew a line and scored it, I then measured the other 2 bits, as you can see. All right, so that's how it works. Then I've used my fabric from the fabric bundle here, and I've covered it using my Fabri-Tac glue, which you've seen me do many times before. Now I will put in one of the other previous, I think last year's Christmas journal I might have shared with you. I'll put that into the Christmas playlist if you're not sure how to do that. All right, so that's what I've done. I've covered it, and I love this fabric. Absolutely love this. And when I show you what I'm going to do on the top now, you'll be delighted, I'm sure. So that's the cover. I've put that on. This is from my Christmas fabric bundle, so I've used this one. The bauble fabric, I've used some of it in the journal. I'm going to make another zip pocket, I think, somewhere. I had that intentions when I put the fabrics together, so we have done that before, so I will add that to the Christmas playlist as well. So that's the other one. And then, you know, I want to make tabs. and all sorts of things, maybe a ruffle or two. When I made this, I actually cut off a piece. This is the autumn one, which I'm going to share with you in the next video. It's about 1 inch wide. So I cut off 1 inch off the edge here. It was just because I made it to be a 3.5, up to a 3.5 inch spine if you wanted it. So I have got 1 inch over of this as well. And you know, this is great to make tabs, ruffles, you know, any of this sort of thing, or decorate your pages. So, you know, everything is going to be used. Now, so that's what I've done there. Now, what I do is I take my little boxes, get any book or anything that you have, but these work perfectly for me. And as I make it thicker or thinner, I just add another one. So I just put this in here. So a good book would work as well, just so that you've got a surface. You can also just open it up and do it flat if you want, but I tend to like to do it like this so that I've got the visual of how it looks when it's open. All right, so that's what we've got there. I want to just make sure that this is, yeah. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to start putting, I just need to pull my arms up a bit here. I want to just start putting some different layers on here. So the first thing I'm going to use is a piece that I've taken again from my fabric bundle. I have, I'm going to give you some measurements. I have sort of fringed the edges, and I've cut a piece that is about this size. Now guys, if you are, just remember to measure, when I gave you the measurements here, measure with your own signatures, because I'm using A4 paper. Your paper might be slightly narrower and slightly wider, so just adjust it by the 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, whichever is going to suit you. All right, so it's not much in it, but there we go. Right, this piece here is, give you some quick measurements. It's just over 5 inches by 7, so 5 by 7. And I've just fringed the edges there, so I've cut it like that. And I'm going to stick that down. I had it where, like that, I think. So just like that. Now, I'm not doing anything to the edge here, and I'm not doing anything to the back because I love the fabric. But I do want to put something on the cover front. So I'm going to take my fabric tack quickly, and I'm going to just stick this down. Now, whenever I'm going to be gluing or anything, I'm going to just speed things up. But I want to just show you, when I do something on the cover, I tend to position it first. And then what I found easier for me, and obviously everyone's different, I tend to want to keep it where I have it. So I just tend to fold it back halfway. So, and then I put my glue down like this. And then I don't have to wonder where I had it before. So that's how I do it. Now, I'm not worried about if it's too thick or whatever, because we're going to put lots of layers on top here. So that's the first bit. And yes, it's still straight, so I can just press that down. And then the bottom bit as well. I do find that easier, even with the paper, you know. Although sometimes I tend to gauge the paper all right. But, you know, it's a great way if you're not sure. And you like what you've done, but you're not sure you're going to place it again where you had it. That's the way to go about it, I feel. All right, so now I've got a couple of things. I'm just looking here at my next piece. Now, I've got, let me just get my glue stand. So, get my glue stand here. I need to clean that glue off. Right, so what I've got here is I've got some of my holly background paper. And I've cut that out. I'm not going to give you every single measurement, but these two are pretty much the same. 4.5 by 6.5. All right, so that's the one background piece, and this is the nice limey color. Now I want to, I've also taken half a doily. This doily I have had for ages. It came from Dovecraft, and they had these colors in there, and I've just taken one and I've cut it in half. All right, so that's what I've done there. You can also take a white paper doily, or if you've got a Sizzix doily die, you can use your distress inks. You can choose, for example, bundled sage, and you could just stamp it on your doily if you don't have a colored doily, because I did think about trying that and making a red one. All right, so, but I don't want it to stand out too much. You could stamp on it, you could stencil on it, you could do whatever you wanted. All right, or cut it out of a piece of paper that's printed already if you've got a actual die. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get this in between these two pieces, but I want to also position this, and this is where I do faff a lot. Now, I'm not too worried about this side because I have a plan there, but I'm wanting to sort of splay these out. That's the word, splay. I thought I had actually put ink on the edges here. I must have missed a piece. Right, so we've got that there, and I'm wanting to sort of get this like this. I think that looks quite good. I want to take this piece and put it underneath here so that it's not sticking out that much, but a little bit further down like that. All right, and yeah, just getting this lime piece. I love this one, the dark green with the lime, just I love it. Right, so I just wanted a suggestion of a doily here, so that's the middle, and I'm just gauging how I want it. Okay, I think that's about what I want, there or thereabouts. And then how you do that is, let me talk to you about the next little piece. Now, before I stick this down, I have taken this page from my mini journal, which I've used quite a lot. You could take a tea stain page if you don't have this, it's absolutely fine. And then I've taken one of my mini pages with the Christmas tree on, and I've just cut it out here. So this tree, I cut it on the gold border for the mini page there, on the gold frame that's on that actual page. And then I've cut this out just 1/4 of an inch bigger, and maybe 1/3 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch bigger there. And I've put a tab on there onto this little mini page. I've put a tab on here, and you know, I even sewed this button on before I stitched around the edge. I just did it manually with the circle of my sewing machine, but you don't need to do the sewing. All right, I just wanted to have a pop of color, so I've used some of that ribbon from that pack, and I've just done it like that. Now this I'm going to put on the top here, and I want these sides to be straight with this fabric. So that's why I'm just gauging how far I have the other papers sort of peeking out like that. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. This is again where I like to, yeah, I think that's about it. I think I might just use my big clip here, big clip. And again, I tend to just lift these things up. So I'm going to start with this layer, and I'm going to just put this over here, because I have learned that once you lift it up, it doesn't go where all your painstaking planning went. So I do the top bit and I just let it fall back where it was. That's now going to stick the doily and onto the paper below. Then I pick up the next bit and I do the same thing. And it is quite fiddly. If you've got clips, I'm trying to hold it down with my left hand. I want some on the doily bit as well, but you know, you can lift up these pieces, put it underneath there if you can. There we go, and then you can push that down. Now that's exactly where you positioned it. All right, so that's the good thing about that. You don't need a clip now because it will have adhered itself there, so that's great. And now you can do the same here. Start with this side, get your doily stuck down, and then your paper, and that'll stick where you want it. And then pick up the next piece and do it like that. This is my way of doing it. I'm sure there are other ways and probably easier ways, but this works for me. Right, so there we go. That's where I wanted that, and I'm quite happy with it. Now you can check, I did put glue on there. I did put glue on there. All right, so I'm happy those ones are now nicely adhered. Now we come back to this piece here, and I'm keeping these little ears up in the air, and because I've got some sticking to do and I don't want them to get stuck. Now I'm going to move this down a little bit, so about there, and again going to get my next little step out so that you can see that you need to gauge certain things. Now I've got some lace here, and it's this here. It's just some of the bits from the Christmas ribbon bundle. So it's some cotton lace, which I'm going to put higher like that, I think. And then I've got this one that I'm going to just put over there. I do love the lighter lime and the darker green, so I'm just looking where exactly I want that. Moving that over slightly. All right, I'm still mindful of where I've positioned that there. The other thing I've got is I've got a band. Now this is not a Christmas band. This is one I've had for a while. These are the Tim Holtz word bands, I think they're called. Possibility begins with imagination, and I like this one because Christmas is about a lot of magic, you know, not real magic, but it's magical and a lot of children's imagination and things. So I thought I'd thread that onto some thin ribbon, and I want to put that over there. All right, so that is going to be the bottom of my design. So I want to move this like this, and yeah, I've got to think about how I want to attach this, and I think I'm going to just cut the edges and stick it down, and I'm not going to I'm going to cut those neatly and stick those down. So where that is placed is where I want it, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take my little pencil and I'm drawing a line. All right, I'm now going to pick that up. As you can see, I stitched right through that, so that's fine. And now I can put loads of glue on here. Okay, so now I'm ready to go to my little lines, which are nice and easy to see on the paper. And with the Fabri-Tac, you've got time to, you know, decide these things. So there we go. I think I'm happy with that. You can press that down. All right, and I'm going to now position that on top over there. So I think something like that. So again, make a little pencil mark just so that I remember. And then I'm going to put, well, I suppose it's probably easier to put the glue on here. So let's do that. Now I want to just position it so that it is even on each side. So we've got that there, and then I need to get my baby ruler out in a minute. That's there. And over here, so I'll just use the big ruler. Just want to straighten that. So that's that. Okay, coming along well. Okay, I'm going to now stick this one down. Let's just measure it. I don't want to be cutting it if I want this to be the same. Here it is. Okay, so I just want it to go over the top here. Now this is going to have to stand for a while, and I usually let it stand overnight before I do anything else with this, so that I know it's dried and it's settled. So, you know, if you're planning to sew in your signature on the same day, I'm not, so I'm going to do that when I'm on a break. Then, you know, give yourself a few hours just to make sure that everything is nicely adhered. Okay, so there we go. That one's there. Okay. I do have these, and I want to stick these down, so I'm going to just use my, I've got this one, and I'll trim it in a minute. And I've got a little red one, so I want this one to come a little bit more over, and then this one to go a little bit like that. And then I've got a little white one as well. Right, so I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so I've stuck that one down and I've just trimmed off the ends there, just to avoid the bulk, and then that can fit on there nicely. Just move this over a bit so I can press nice and firmly like that. And then I've got this little white one. Gosh, my hands are full of everything. I was crafting till 2 this morning, and I was up at 8, well before 8, to let Abby out, and I haven't stopped since the previous day. But I want to get this all done so that you guys can do what you want to do with it. All right, so there we go. I've got those 3 on there, so that's great. And then I've got this little band which I want to just stick over there. Right, you can move it along if you haven't got it quite in the right place. You can actually move it along, but I'm happy with that. Right, so we're going to use this now and put this on. I'm going to put some underneath the ribbon just to get the ribbon fixed in place, and then I'm going to put some onto the ribbon on the outside. Let's hope that that adheres nicely. Right, have I got it the right way? I do. Right. Whoops. Very fiddly. Okay, I'm going to put it just over here, which I think is pretty much the center. Yeah, so I'm going to stick it down over there. Where's that big clip? Is that going to work? No, it's just too short. That's okay. We can just press it. And then we're going to stick down the little ribbon side banners. So here's the one. Please stick straight. Of course you're not. There we go. So there we go. And this side. There we go. So things are looking great. Right. Now I've got one of these little poinsettias. We've used one before for another little project that we did. So these little poinsettias here came with my ribbon bundle. I'm going to take off this bit here, which I did last time as well. So I don't want that bit. I'm going to just put some fabric tack on it, and then we're going to put that just over here. Perfect. Oh, little stamen. Right, I'm going to get that clip out again. It's not quite the right length. I need extra long clips. I'll put this all under a nice book when I'm finished. All right, so we've got all of that in place, and then I've just got one other little thing that I want to stick down, and I'm just pressing this down here. Is I took my little snowflake, gold one, put a red one on top of it, and a little snowflake pearl, and again I'm going to just get this stuck down. So all right, and then we want to just be mindful of the ribbon, so I'm going to stick it just over there. Okay, so we've got things on the opposite corners. Right, there we go. Okay, so we've got our cover done. How cute is that? I really like it. Okay, so those are loose. We've got lots of layers and things going on there, and I love how that's come together. Right, I'm going to put that to the side just for the moment. I just wanted to show you something else that I've made really quickly, and then also for the journal. I have done something like this before, but I am going to show you in my next video if you're not sure. Right, here I have made, listen, a lovely tassel, and this is going to go on the back of the Christmas journal. Look at that. So I'm going to make a little eyelet over there. Once I can only do that once I've put the signatures in. So you only want to put you want to sew your signature or sew your signatures, glue them in, and once you've done that, you can make a little eyelet just over there. And then I've used so that's going to be like that on the back. How festive is that? All right, so let me just show you over here. I've got a claw that I bought from Amazon. So these are, I'm sure these are on my favorite tools. You can get them anywhere. I've used the Tim Holtz. These are book rings, and I think I've got them over here. Let me just see. Okay, so I've got lobster claws, and I've got loads of them, so great for tassels. And then I've got mini book rings, all right, and these are from Tim Holtz, mini book rings, and as you can see, they open up, all right, so they're hinged, which is exactly what you need for this. Okay, so I'll leave that in there so I know what it is, where I got it. All right, so I got these from Amazon, so they are great to use. And then what it is, and I'll show you tomorrow how I make this, but look at the bits that I've added in here. Some gorgeous eyelash trim, and I've got a whole ball of it. Lovely, it looks like tinsel. I just love this. This is also on my Amazon favorite tools list. All right, and I've got it in green, but the green wasn't quite the green I'm using for this, but I've also got it in sparkly white as well. So I've used all of that there. I've put in some baker's twine type thing. I've made knots and added in gorgeous charms here, so you can see the charms are all over here. I've taken the green and I've added in bells, jingle bells. I've used this beautiful trim, some of my cream lace. I had this eyelash trim from before, and I've added in some gold ribbon that says Merry Christmas. So that's the other side of the charms. Some of the fine lace that we've used with the colours, some rickrack. And then I also took the gold thread we used, also part of the ribbon bundle, and I've used our beautiful buttons and I've sewn them, look at that, in there as well. Here's the other side of it. So I think this is just beautiful. Now this is easy. You just make a knot on the one side, you take your needle, thread it from the base up, over, up and over again, and you move on. I split them. I added the buttons every 2 inches. So then I went to the next one, up at the base, under, up and over, and then I did the next one. So they are all in there. So pom-pom trim, I've got a red one and a cream one, and there we have a beautiful tassel. And I'll show you tomorrow because I'm going to make one in the next video for the autumn one. So I'll show you again. I've got Avril yarn in here. I've got everything that I could possibly think of to go in here. It's in here. All right, so it's not hard to do this at all. And that's going to look absolutely stunning. And I love that it jingles. So yeah, I love that. So if you're wanting to have a go at that, go and have a go. It's going to look lovely, and it just, you know, very festive for the Christmas one because of the bells and everything. But I made a beautiful one once before for the Wildflower Journal, which I have, and I just thought it added so much to it. So we won't be doing a glitzy one for the autumn one, but I'll show you how beautiful that can look as well. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Here's our little cover, and of course the beautiful tassel that's going to go on here. I will be putting out a video for Thursday, so go and have a look at that. And I will be I think it's Thursday when I normally do it, Thursday going into Friday, is it? Well, you just look out for the notifications, and then I will put out one going in on Friday like I normally do, going into Saturday. If you're in the UK, it's Friday. It posts in the western hemisphere of the planet. You know, if you're west of me, it's Friday, but if you Greenwich Meridian time or East, then it's Saturday. All right, so I will see you then. Thank you so much for all the support and kind words. Just delighted that you're enjoying all of this. Go and make your cover already, and I hope that you're up to speed with all your shopping. I'm going to see you in the next video, and I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do with the autumn one. Stay well, everyone. Bye-bye.